Welcome back, guys. Okay, so we're still about 6 to 8 months away from the move. And as I mentioned in the last video, our overarching goal is to shrink the amount of stuff that we have to pack up, move, and unpack. And so while we are actively and intentionally consolidating and consuming the consumables, I'm also going to start the process of decluttering and downsizing. Because I think we can all agree that if there's extra and unnecessary stuff in the house, it's better to get rid of it before the move, right? The problem that a lot of families face is that they have this idea that it needs to be one massive purge of every bit of clutter and excess in the house all at once. And as I mentioned before, most of us don't have that kind of time. On top of which, I'm an emotional person. My kids are emotional. It takes a lot of mental energy to make those kinds of decisions. What's worth packing and what's not? Well, this might not be useful in this house, but what if it's useful in the next house? And so trying to do it all at once doesn't work for me. It doesn't work for most people, actually. And so instead, 6 to 8 months before, right, really early, I start to get into the habit of being constantly on the lookout for clutter. And I'm going to start with the easiest stuff. So right now I'm in my daughter's room, and what I did is I walked in here and I opened the closet and I looked inside her bins and I asked myself, is there any major category of stuff that could easily be downsized? I'm not going to do the difficult stuff. So for example, I'm not even going to bother with her books. She's got a lot of books and she's very protective of her books. And while I'm sure that there's definitely a handful, maybe 10 or 20 that she doesn't read anymore, and it probably wouldn't make sense to pack and move, the process of sitting down with her, going through all of those books and picking and choosing which ones stay and go, that's a lot of work. The number of books that we'd be able to save ourselves from packing is not worth the effort it would take to make those decisions. So I moved on from the books and I looked for a different category that I could declutter and downsize that's easier, and I found one. In both of my kids' rooms, actually, I noticed that they had accumulated a lot of extra bedding. Bedding is big and bulky, and we don't need 4 sets in each room. And I realized that the reason we had let it accumulate was partly because we do need one extra set for when we have house guests over and they have sleepovers and stuff. But also they kept asking for it for Christmases and birthdays, especially as my son got into different characters and my daughter decided that she had new favorite colors. People would send them new bedding and we never bothered to get rid of the old one because it wasn't causing a problem in their room. They have plenty of space in their closet. But now I'm looking at their stuff through different eyes. I'm not looking at, can we store this reasonably? Is it getting in the way? Is it causing a problem in this bedroom? I'm asking, is it really worth our effort to pack up 4 whole sets of bedding for each of my children just to get to the new house and have them say, I've got a new favorite color? And so that was a great category to shrink. And I brought my daughter in and I said, you've got 4 sets of bedding, choose your 2 favorites. And she did. And we donated the other 2, and I did the same thing with my son. They weren't super difficult decisions. The kids didn't get very emotional about it, and I was able to drop off like 2 giant boxes worth of stuff at the donation center. So it was perfect. It was exactly what I wanted to accomplish. And now I'm going to move on from my kids' rooms and go do the exact same thing somewhere else. So I might go to the kitchen and open up all of the cabinets and drawers and scan for some big, bulky, massive category of stuff that I could easily declutter or downsize without too much effort. And I think I know what it's going to be, because I'm pretty sure that over the last 3 years, we've accumulated a few too many tablecloths, placemat sets, and dish towels and things like that. So it's probably where I'm headed next. And again, I'm not looking to get rid of every tiny little scrap of clutter or do a massive purge of everything in the house. But over the next 6 months, if I regularly at intervals go to another room and another room and another room looking for these easy to declutter and downsize big categories of stuff, I think I'll be pretty successful in shrinking the amount of stuff that we have to pack up, move, and unpack. And that's all I'm going to be working on right now. 6 to 8 months out, I focus on consuming the consumables and doing some basic, simple decluttering and downsizing. And I'll probably meet you back here in a month or 2. Bye.